Hello everyone! Today I'm going to introduce you the meaning of the name Rissho Kosei-kai. But I know, you may wonder, why is that important for you to understand the name's meaning of Rissho Kosei-kai? Well, yes, here are two reasons. First, whether you're a member of Rissho Kosei-kai or not, knowing and thinking about their name help us better understand the mission and the purpose of Rissho Kosei-kai. So here's the video for the curious visitors. Second, Rissho Kosei-kai is not 3 words, but actually composed of 5 words. I want to give you a detailed 5-fold breakdown of the word Rissho Kosei-kai and discuss some unexpected meanings of each of these words and show you how beautifully this name is embodying the core ideas of the Lotus Sutra. That said, by learning about the name, you will understand both Rissho Kosei-kai's mission and purpose and learn the core ideas of the Rissho Kosei-kai. What wonderful opportunity for you it is. So this is why I'm here for you today. And that's what this video will exactly offer you. Let's buckle up our seatbelts and dive into it. This video has 2 parts. First, we will look at what the Rissho Kosei-kai themselves say about their name, either in the website or their leaflet. And second, we will look at what I say about what they say about their own name, Rissho Kosei-kai. So I've got to say that because it seems like either like a leaflet or their website cannot explain some very rich meanings behind the name Rissho Kosei-kai. So what I will offer today is my personal interpretation about the name Rissho Kosei-kai, but it is worthy to hear for you because this is something you cannot find either in the leaflet or in the website. If you want to know more about Rissho Kosei-kai's teachings and practices, please check out my videos Why I Joined Rissho Kosei-kai. I would be very glad if they can serve your purpose and find a great Buddhist community for you that fits for you the best. Alright, today I will explain the meaning of the name Rissho Kosei-kai. Let's dive into it. How does Rissho Kosei-kai explain their own name? In their leaflet called Welcome to Rissho Kosei-kai for New Members, it says, Rissho means establishing the teaching of the true Dharma in our hearts and mind. Kosei means aspiring to perfect oneself through interaction with many people, learning together and encouraging each other, and Kai means society or organization. Alright, so let's do a linguistic math. Rissho plus Kosei plus Kai means a Buddhist organization that aims at establishing the teaching of the true Dharma in us by way of perfecting ourselves through spiritually growing with others. Alright, so they have a very great vision, but there are some ambiguities about the meaning of what the true Dharma means. What do they learn together and to perfect oneself and so on. So looking at the following passages in the different place of the leaflet, Welcome to Rissho Kosei-kai, may be very helpful. It says, Rissho Kosei-kai helps you learn how to live life to become a Buddha in the hope that you will find true happiness. The eternal Buddha will always be with you, guide you, and encourage you. The door of the Buddha's teachings is open before you. Let's walk the path to Buddhahood together. Rissho Kosei-kai is a global Buddhist movement of people who hope to manifest the Buddha's teachings in our own lives, applying them in our homes, workplaces, and local communities, thereby making a more peaceful world. So they have a very clear vision about what they can offer to everyone. And this is huge to say. The purpose is to help you become a Buddha. That's huge, right? But this is what it sounds like to mean to perfect oneself. So to become a Buddha in our everyday life is Rissho Kosei-kai's mission, it seems like, which means to perfect yourself. And we will talk about this in a second. So by true Dharma, it seems like their take of the eternal life of the Buddha, which is the central topic of the Lotus Sutra, chapter 16, is something that let us seize the coherence of all Buddhist teachings. So this true seems to mean like a non-exclusive and all-embracing kind of true. So this goes beyond an ordinary conception of what the true is, right? Because an ordinary sense of true, what does that mean? That tends to create a division between what is true and what is untrue. So there's a contrast between what is true and what is not true. But in this sense of the true Dharma, there's no such distinction between what is true and what is not true. So this true Dharma is true in Rissho Kosei-kai makes every single teaching in Buddhism true. So this is the absolute true. This is amazing. But I think this is a middle way Buddha nature application to the idea of truth by Rissho Kosei-kai, more in a second. And what they say about their own meaning. So in the next part, let me offer you what I say about what they say about the name of Rissho Kosei-kai. So this is going to be a lot of a more like in-depth learning session of the core ideas of the Lotus Sutra, that such as topic the eternal life of the Buddha, the middle way Buddha nature, and the presence and absence, and true and what is not true. Okay, let's dive into it. So the name Rissho Kosei-kai, which looks like it's composed of 3 words, actually is 5 words. And here's a breakdown of each word. So rit or ritsu means to establish, but it also means to stand up. Sho is true, as we've seen, but also means like a correct, right, and appropriate or timely. That's what I mean, very important. And ko, it's interaction among people, but also means, surprisingly, beautiful or cunning, more in a second, which is very, very key. Say is to perfect, but also to become, to complete. Kai, yes, association, society, but also to match up or to encounter. So each character has a very rich meaning in its etymology of its own kanji. So let's go over one by one. So ri or ritsu. So there's in the Buddhism, phrase in the Buddhism saying, all dharmas are established, being rooted in the non-dwelling. And this non-dwelling is a very important word for the idea of establishing all the dharmas. This non-dwelling means not to get stuck in any one single experience, not getting stuck in any single perspective and so on. So this is something very affirmative, world affirmative move of Buddhism, right? When you talk about the emptiness of all things, like in the Madhyamika Buddhism in India, which is a very key source of Tiantai Buddhism, you tend to see like a negative negation forms of what we encounter in our world. But in some Mahayana Buddhist literature, such as the Lotus Sutra and Vimalkirti Sutras and so on, Rissho Kosei-kai seems to be taking up this kind of affirmative move and to establish something rather than seeing the truth by way of negating something. So this radical affirmation move is very much in accordance with the spirit of the Lotus Sutra, and I'm so glad that Rissho Kosei-kai chose the word ritsu or ritsu or ri and the very first of the 5-fold name of their own. That's great. So by true Dharma, it seems like their take of the eternal life of the Buddha, which is the central topic of the Lotus Sutra, chapter 16, is something that let us seize the coherence of all Buddhist teachings. So this true seems to mean like a non-exclusive and all-embracing kind of true. So this goes beyond an ordinary conception of what the true is, right? Truth is not exclusively available in only somewhere else, but also everywhere. This is the middle way Buddha nature application of the truth, which is great. And this seeing the truth in everyone is very in accordance with the Bodhisattva practice of affirming everyone's desires and perspectives and start the work of liberation from there, from the ground, right? Not by imposing the wisdom of the Buddha onto others. So the nirvana for the bodhisattvas is always, the unlimited openness to infinity. So every single moment is yet to reveal its entirety. Everyone's ideas and perspectives are yet to reveal its identity. What you think about the guy who you don't like about, your idea is still limited. If you don't like somebody, that's not their fault. But it's an opportunity for all of us to grow thanks to that guy whom you don't like. The Lotus Sutra even lets us appreciate the guy whom you don't like, or people who don't like me as well. This is very world affirmative. So this non-dwelling in any one single moment of perspective or desires and so on is in accordance with the Bodhisattva practice. So that's what it means by Rissho. So as we see, Rissho, establishing that appropriate truth, already involves the practical dimension of interacting among people already. So Rissho Kosei seems to be different terms, but they overlap one another as well. So each meaning is implied to the other, into the other as well. This is a wonderful, dependent co-arising moment in the very name of Rissho Kosei-kai. This is an intersubsumption of all things too. That's great. So next one is ko. This is very interesting. Yes, interaction among people, but also in its etymology, it means beautiful and cunning. This is very curious, right? So, but this isn't, again, an absolute beauty, which doesn't create a distinction between what is beautiful and what is not beautiful, but rather the idea is the ko as beautiful is to find everyone's experience beauty. This is important in two senses. One, you find beauty in everyone and in your experience. Second, you help everyone find beauty in their lives. That's a self-other practice of discovery of the beauty, which is available always and discoverable in everyone's experience all the time. So that kind of beauty makes everything beauty, right? Because there's no distinction between what is beautiful and what is not beautiful. And the second is the meaning of the cunning. What is cunning, right? This is very, very curious and super interesting, and that is the heart of the Lotus Sutra, I guess. So the cunning in the Lotus Sutra is like joyful deception, or extremely unexpected happy ending. So this means what you think, what you are doing, actually surpasses something you can imagine what you are really doing. So from your vision, what you're doing is a struggle and a deluded practice of your everyday life. But from the Buddha's viewpoint, what you are doing is already always a supreme bodhisattva practice. It's in the process of, you are in the process of becoming a Buddha, unbeknownst to you. So they're like, so in this sense it's cunning, right? So the Buddha's vision about you and your vision about what you're doing going at the same time, and they will converge one another in its inconceivability in the future, in their own Buddhahood. This is a single suchness of the Buddha's vision and the vision of the sentient beings, which is not Buddha yet. So this is the meaning of ko, the cunning. So in this is we don't know what we are really doing, and we don't know who we really are. But the Buddha knows who you really are and what you're really doing. But this moment of not knowing what we are doing for us is precisely a part of the essential part of our bodhisattva practice. So it's a great, good, affirmative kind of non-knowing. So there's no primacy of the consciousness or knowing of what we're doing, but in the Lotus Sutra, even the equality of the non-knowing and knowing, and the equality of being unconscious about something and conscious about something. There's no distinction about two types of consciousness, two types of knowing. Both are affirmed. Both are valuable. So this is the power of the middle way in the Lotus Sutra, which I love about. So next is, all right, say. To perfect, to complete, to become. To become a Buddha. That's the heart of the Lotus Sutra and what Rissho Kosei-kai promotes, right? This is the greatest vision among all. But what does that mean? That means the attainment of the end of suffering for yourself and for everyone. But in the Lotus Sutra, so here's the key. In Rissho Kosei-kai, to become a Buddha is not just to attain the end of suffering, but it rather means to appreciate and become joyful, to find joy in every single moment of your own practice and own experience in your everyday life. If you're joyful or appreciate each moment of your experience, you wouldn't need to seek outside that present given moment, right? So this is a Rissho Kosei-kai version, I think, of the popular idea of the mindfulness. If you appreciate and content and joyful, well, joyful and appreciative goes beyond content, like a regular kind of mindfulness and calm and serenity and so on. But joy and appreciation, gratitude, it kind of overfills your heart and it just spreads out, and that moves you. That's a Rissho Kosei-kai version of the mindfulness and the power of the mindfulness, which sort of puts you in motion in an exciting way. This is an active mindfulness moment in Rissho Kosei-kai, which I find it very powerful. That's what it means by say. This is very powerful, isn't it? Kai is organization, but also to encounter and to meet. So Rissho Kosei-kai's mission is to help you to have a moment of joy and appreciation towards every single moment of your life, which is the greatest way of overcoming our experience of suffering, which is a dissatisfaction with the given present moment or situation. So they train you to find a meeting place of this wondrously peaceful experience in you and everyone's heart through interacting and through encountering with one another, with people, and encountering with one another, with the situation, with things, with ideas, with all types of encounter. It's not limited to like a human encounter or physical encounter, which is great. So their name, Rissho Kosei-kai, embodies the core spirit of the Lotus Sutra. So that's why I joined Rissho Kosei-kai. I hope it was helpful.